Mr. Rosenstein certainly has grounds for termination. He has not turned over to the Congress what the Congress asked for. He has turned over substantially less than what the Congress asked for. He is the one who signed the surveillance authorization under a FISA warrant based on fraudulent information. Those two acts of treachery alone should merit his termination. We won the election, but the deep state continues to control the Justice Department. The president cannot possibly combat the coming counter-revolution, the coming revolt to overturn the country in a coup without a Justice Department committed to the rule of law and the prosecution of those who plan to execute the violence.
We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. Today, it all changes. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice, just like when I said slavery is a choice. Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So we keep on saying, I hate you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. How are we gonna get a different result out of hate? Why don't we just try love? Why don't we just try love? We have the resources for a peaceful world. You know, sometimes you need some crazy motherfuckers to change something. Steve Jobs is crazy. Now we all on Steve Jobs' phones. They say Trump's crazy. They say I'm crazy. But I'm here to show love. It's a bigger plan, and I'm just doing what the universe told me.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
And now the left's favorite director, Mr. Lynch, has come out in support of Trump. Every other left icon, Morrissey, the list goes on and on. Anybody that is really about prosperity in the future knows that Trump's a good guy. But the globalists, Brennan, others whose specialty is overthrowing countries, admit they're trying to overthrow the president and the electoral process. And so it's all public now. And we kept warning of this and warning. Now they're public. Roger, what does the president need to do? I mean, if we don't talk about how we respond to this, we don't want to get tricked into doing something too much, but at a certain point, that becomes a mind game of its own, because when they're already going hot on you, I think the big thing is people need to know how serious this is so they don't get the jump on us, and that they are planning at the end of the summer, into the fall, to basically trigger civil unrest and the assassination of the president and a total political shutdown. They're also pre-programming, I've noticed, in Bloomberg and McClatchy and everywhere now, that the Russians are claiming that people want to overthrow Trump, and that the Russians are claiming the little girl really wasn't hurt. And the Russians are claiming that the left wants to sow civil war, when the Russians have nothing to do with it. They're the ones doing it. So that when we're saying, hey, this is bad, don't do it, they're going to say that's Russia propaganda too. I mean, hell, if, you know, I didn't cook my kids' eggs right this morning, it was the Russians' fault. So in the 3 minutes we have left, what does Trump need to do?
Well, the single most important thing he could do today, right now, in the next hour, is to terminate the employment of Rod Rosenstein. Mr. Rosenstein certainly has grounds for termination. He has not turned over to the Congress what the Congress asked for. He has turned over substantially less than what the Congress asked for. He is the one who signed the surveillance authorization under a FISA warrant based on fraudulent information. Those two acts of treachery alone should merit his termination. We won the election, but the deep state continues to control the Justice Department. The president cannot possibly combat the coming counter-revolution, the coming revolt to overturn the country in a coup without a Justice Department committed to the rule of law and the prosecution of those who plan to execute the violence.
And Roger, you were completely right. That's why Mueller admits he's accelerating his fake Russia probe, is because he understands the wheels are coming off. Rosenstein is absconding with evidence. He's violating federal rules. He's got his own picked lawyer after you that violates federal rules. He's got to go, or Trump is in dereliction of duty. Trump is totally, completely innocent of all this. It's been proven. Rosenstein is a criminal coup plotter with Hillary, with McCabe, with Strzok, with all of these people, and Trump must move against the clear and present danger before they crash the economy, assassinate him, and start a race war. So it's got to be done. Rosenstein's got to go, and I think the Attorney General does as well. You ought to fire both of them.
Amen. From your mouth to God's ear.
It's got to be done. He can't wait till Mueller comes up with all his fake garbage down the road and then just lets them continue to engage in criminal activity. We have the proof from the beginning it was a frame-up. That means investigations are over. I cannot believe that Mueller has not had his arrogant ass thrown in prison yet.
You know, it's amazing. I did an interview with The Hill, Alex, last week. And although I never used the word indict in my interview, their headline, Roger Stone expects to be indicted. Not what I said. Roger Stone expects to be framed. That's a real possibility.
God bless you. We'll be back.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Living in Volcano may sound more dramatic than it really is. The real drama can be found here in Leilani Estates. But a lot of us on the Big Island rely on rainwater, and we need to be concerned about ash and acid rain. Volcanic ash may contain heavy metal particles, and acid rain could lower the pH of the water to unhealthy levels. To find out, we employed a series of tests for heavy metals, alkalinity, and pH. What we learned was that there was in fact unhealthy levels of heavy metals and acidity in the rainwater. Next, we tested the water from our Alexa Pure gravity filter. And not only were the heavy metal levels within safe measure, but the pH was also restored to optimal levels. As it turns out, the filter on the Alexa Pure raises the pH of the water. So what we've learned is that volcanic ash and acid rain can contaminate a rainwater supply. But more importantly, a good water filtration system will purify it.